because it's a life cycle.
Yes.
It ends up in the ocean, it will still come back to us.
Yes.
Aside from animals dying, being sick, we will still get sick.
We will also get
The whole earth will be sick.
Because you're a first-time business owner, or because it's the first year of business. What are those challenges that you faced?
Yeah, for sure. There's so many challenges. Where to start? Sometimes you feel harassed. You're just like, my God, I'm just trying to make it better.
Yes.
But then, yeah, you can't do much. I am the queen of Kaliwali, as my friend would say. I'm like, yeah, Kaliwali, it's fine. It's okay. It's not working out, then it's okay. I will let it go. We move on. Go with the flow.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bilna Sandeep show. Today in the show, we have an amazing guest. We have Audrey, who is the founder of Chateaux Furniture. Welcome on board, Audrey.
Thank you so much, Bilna, for having me on your show.
Thank you so much for being on our show, and I'm sure our listeners will get a completely new perspective because it's the first time we are having someone into furniture industry on board in our show. Maybe to start with, I would like to ask you about your journey on how did you start furniture business, because I remember when we had our conversations before, you were into hospitality earlier, and then now you moved on to start something in the furniture industry, right? So how did that happen?
Okay, so I come from a hospitality background basically. My bachelor's was in hotel and restaurant management and hospitality development.
Nice.
I've worked in Kenya and in Qatar. Before I moved here, I was in Qatar. When I was in Qatar, I was like, okay, I wanted to do something different rather than just working the normal, hospitality stuff. It wasn't even 9 to 5. It was like almost 12
shifts,
hours.
right?
Different shifts, almost like 12 hours every day. So I wanted to do something in business.
Nice.
I wanted also to understand what goes on in people's psyche.
Nice.
So ending up here in Dubai was by a fluke.
Okay.
Because I was actually going to do my master's in business psychology.
Nice.
In Scotland. But then being an international student, we cannot work full-time and study full-time.
Oh, okay.
So the university actually gave me an option to come to Dubai, and because they have Heriot Watt here.
Yes.
So they said, listen, we can give you an NOC to work full-time and study full-time.
Oh, nice.
And you can go to our campus in Dubai, which is 1 hour from Qatar. And so I took the opportunity. And while I landed here in Dubai, I was like, okay, so what job can I do that will not require me to, make it a hustle, basically.
Because you're already studying. Right?
Exactly. So I'm doing my master's, and when I do my thesis, I don't want to be worrying about the shift work and everything. So I said, okay, I'm not going to go back to hospitality, but I still want to do something that connects it.
Nice.
Then someone had reached out and they were looking for someone to help them with the sales in a furniture store. And they were specific. It was like outdoor furniture sales. So for me, outdoor furniture, I was more like, okay, interesting. But I've always been interested in furniture, in ergonomics. I added ergonomics also as my part of my course as well.
Oh, nice.
When I started working here in Dubai.
Okay.
And
because you got job in that industry that you thought, okay, I should learn ergonomics as well along with it?
A bit of both, because also I've loved always the design industry.
Nice.
And also designing lobbies, designing restaurants, designing hotels was something I've always also wanted to go into.
Nice.
So the furniture industry was like a bridge in between.
Nice.
So I can design the furniture directly and go into it. Also, I can furnish the hotels that I really actually like to go to.
Nice.
So that's how I ended up doing the furniture business. So I started working for a company here that was purely dealing with outdoor furniture, and then I became specialized in the outdoor furniture sector.
Oh, nice.
And I worked with them for almost 10 years until last year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's when I decided, okay, you know what? Now it's the nudge to actually do my own, because I got the technical know-hows of how to run the business, what goes into the furniture, especially outdoor furniture, what's best suited for the GCC market and what thrives well, what does well, what lasts longer, because durability is a very big issue here.
Yes, because of the climate here probably. Right?
Exactly, the heat and everything. You keep something plastic, it melts. You know, you want to give something that's aluminum, but then you don't want it to be too hot in the sun.
It gets heated up when people
Exactly. So you don't want to be seated and still, you know, you're dancing, you know, comfortably seated outside. Then you also want to make sure that the upholstery is longer lasting in the heat. It dries out, it fades easily. So all these things really give me like the oomph, almost like, I know I can do this, so why not?
Oh my God, it's so tricky, yeah. Because when you buy a piece of furniture, you're not thinking all these things.
No one thinks of it.
Right?
No, everyone's just like, okay, it looks good, it looks nice, the design is nice, so it will look in my area. It goes with my theme, my color scheme, how my landscape is done. So that's it. But they don't think about, okay, what fiber, what fabric, what metal, powder coating, these things, they don't think about it.
Very, very true. I mean, when you told me about it now, I was like, oh, right. I mean, when I'm going to buy a furniture, I'm like, okay, I'm just buying a piece that suits my theme or something. But we tell them we want something durable, but we don't really think about, okay, this material is what is more durable, you know? So that is the back end of running a furniture business.
Exactly. Right? And that's where we come in. So I like it also when clients actually ask me, like, what's the difference between your furniture and my competitor's furniture? So I'm able to outline this.
Nice.
9 times out of 10.
That's when they understand the real value of what you're providing.
Exactly.
And I think you mentioned, right, like 10 years you worked in another company, and then that you have the expertise, then you moved on to start something on your own. But still, right, like when you're in that first year of operation, because probably when you worked previously, that company might have had a brand. They might have built a brand.
Correct.
But when you started off, right, you are building a new brand. So how was that experience like, you know, finding the first set of clients? And also when you go to your supply chain, right, finding the right sort of suppliers who will be giving you products on, you know, there are a lot of cash terms to agree and everything, right? They need to trust you as well. What's that whole journey and process like, you know?
So it is challenging, but it's also nice because it actually opens your eyes to people who actually trust you. People who actually understand you being in a business aspect rather than you being an employee. Because there is a different phase to being an employee and owning your business. So for example, like with the supply chain that I was working with, when I told them I'm actually starting a new company, they were more than happy.
That's nice.
Even one of them actually sent me a whole container to actually just start off, because they were like, oh, they understand it's going to be cutthroat. You're in a foreign country. It's not even your country. So it's going to be very difficult for you also as a woman in a different place to start the business. And this is me giving you a helping hand, because over the years we've actually done really good business with them. And it was just like a very ego boost. Exactly. Also, and the relations. And also something I learned is people actually trust you. Forget about the business. So all the people who saw me working in my previous company were more than happy to actually even give me some of their clients, refer me easily to their clients. And my first client actually came from a referral. My sister actually spoke to the interior designer and she was like, listen, my sister has been doing this and this. And the interior designer was like, well, yeah, as in I've heard you talking about your sister, what she's done, what she's overcome. So I actually don't mind actually giving her the business. So my first business came actually from a referral from someone I didn't know well. And they trusted me fully to actually supply everything from end to end, basically bringing it here, shipping it to their country and everything. So I think trusting the person is more important than trust in the business will follow. Because also just seeing you being visible in different channels, talking about it, explaining stuff, because I did videos before. But then also, you know, people will be like, okay, yeah, she's just doing, maybe she doesn't know much, or she's going to be very green when she starts the business. But in all aspects, I was actually managing the previous business.
Nice.
So from that experience, I was able to at least build a good network that was able to trust my work, my word, and myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
And both of us are from BNI. We are both BNI members, and
Yes.
we know that how that network can help and the referrals, right? So people ask me, what is a referral? So I always say it's not just passing a lead, it's like recommended introduction.
Exactly.
And I think that's what happened in the case of your first client. Though you didn't know your client well, they probably trusted you because of the person who recommended you.
Exactly.
Right.
And it plays a very big role because these are people who have seen you work before.
Yes.
They have trusted you. They've spent countless number of morning meetings and doing
with you, right?
Yeah, exactly, and one-to-ones. And just we always say like visibility brings credibility, then it ends up being profitability.
Exactly.
So being visible in the chapter meetings, being visible with your friends, even just socializing, these things build up to bring in the trust that people lay on you. So
I think you are also part of different networking platforms, right?
Yes.
So has that really impacted your business when you started off and currently running as you run as well, right?
It has, for example, I'm part of Rotary.
Yes.
And I love being I'm a philanthropist at heart.
Yes.
And I love doing a lot of community service. That's why I joined Rotary.
Yes.
And in Rotary, you do also find like a support system.
Nice.
Even some of my colleagues in the association, they're always like, okay, listen, what exactly are you looking for in clients? I have this person I can connect you with. I know a few hotels that we conduct our meetings in, and I can connect you to them. So they've played also a big role in basically opening up the doors and just helping me meet people at least halfway, meet procurement managers, even if it's just a lead, but it counts because...
Yes, because you are starting a relation there.
Exactly. And if it's not now, it's going to transpire later on in the future.
Exactly.
So I don't take it for granted.
Like people say, networking for your business is like farming, and you're not hunting down.
Exactly.
Right?
You have to till the land. You have to prepare it slowly. You have to plant the seedlings, and now you have to water, and then day by day manure it.
Yes.
Give it, nurture it, and then you wait for it to grow.
Very true.
Yeah.
And your business also has custom-made furniture as well as ready-made furniture, right?
Yes.
So how is the difference in the clientele that come? Like there are people who just want to buy something off the shelf and go, but there's the custom-made as well. So how is the difference between these two kind of clients that come?
Yeah. So initially when I started, mainly for custom-made furniture, I always left it for bulk orders. So these will be for the hotels and the restaurants. But because that one would take time and also shipping and everything, so I'd give it about maybe, let's say, 90 days to have everything from production to delivery on the site. So a few clients, individual clients would come and was like, yeah, I really like this furniture. It looks like a butterfly and I want it to be customized.
Yes.
Can you do it? So I was fortunate to actually also get partners who are in BNI and in the furniture industry that they have factories locally in the UAE.
Oh, nice.
And I'm able to produce it. So if a client comes to me and is like, yeah, okay, I like your designs, but I need to change something from it.
Okay.
Are you able to do it? I'm like, yes, I can customize a single sofa for you. I don't mind. This would be the cost. So most of the individual clients who actually want it custom made, they do know the value.
Yes.
And they do know the quality. So most would not mind paying like a little bit extra just to get it, to get what they want. And having this kind of partnerships have made it so easy because customizing one, I can't give it to a factory. One of our partners in Indonesia would be like, yeah, but this is just one chair. For me, it's no benefit. But for me, it's also like the service aspect given to the client. It's like an added advantage, an added plus for them. Value, exactly.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm able to do the customization. And there are pros and cons, of course, because it depends with the number of revisions you have to do for the design and everything until you finalize it. We have made like ways in which basically, okay, the first 2 or 3 revisions would be free.
Yes.
But anything after, okay, it would be an added cost because it's time also from us. And we want to give you the best and we want you to be satisfied.
Yes.
Yeah. For the clients who actually want it off the shelf, those are my best clients because I'm like, I have brought you my designs. I would really love for you to love my designs.
Yes.
In as much as I enjoy actually customizing other people's designs, and we do give credit where it's due. Like if it's not our design, we do mention this was inspired by Bilna, for example.
That's nice.
So we don't want to take the credit. We did the execution, but because also
not everybody do that.
No. And in the furniture industry, we still have also the infringement rights and copyrights and everything. So you don't want to do that.
Get into all those things,
yeah, exactly. And start an Instagram war, Twitter war or something. So
she copied my design.
I know, exactly. No. Yes. So ideally, we always encourage also the interior designers or architects to use our designs in their specifications. It makes it so much easier for us because we'll be like, okay, these are Chateaux designs that you've specified, rather than giving me Bilna designs and then I have to, Bilna, I'm gonna do this copy, but then just don't take it the wrong way. You know.
It doesn't make sense to do it that way, right? Very, very true. And also now when it comes to the ready-made, like you have 2 sectors in your business.
Yes.
One is for the projects which you supply in bulk, but the other one might be your retail sector, which you give it probably 1 or 2 pieces that way, right? For that, you need to have a stock. Right? So how do you find out what is the right amount of stock to keep? Like you don't know if it's gonna sell it off, or maybe after some time that trend might go and you still have the stock. So how do you decide that as a business owner?
So I'd say from experience, my previous predecessors in the previous company, they gave me a very good lesson, like in terms of estimating what we need to be sold in the showroom. And what would be needed for project purposes. We've gauged it at, let's say, most projects always ask for like 50 dining chairs. This is like a common. If they ask for 30, that's easy. We can keep a stock of 30. We can keep a stock of 50. But more than that, then we'd be able to make sure that we are actually going to sell the furniture that we'll sell for the projects would be something that the clients, also individual clients, would like. So we'd had to strike a balance in the design also.
The ratio of the both.
Exactly. And make sure that, okay, I sell maybe 100 chairs to individual clients. That's like maybe 8, those are 10 homes basically. So I would have 100 chairs in stock. But to make it to 200, I'd need to make sure that I actually will be getting a project every month. So it could be 1 or 2 projects, but then to ensure that they're actually going to be bulk orders. 8 times out of 10, we do have, like, whatever we have kept as stock, we ended up selling everything.
That's amazing.
And then we ended up telling the clients, okay, you just need to, if you're willing to wait, that would be good. Otherwise, we do have other options. But so for the stock we keep, we also try to keep a variety of the stock. So if it's 1 chair, we have 1 chair in 3 different
shades.
Colors, different shades, and a tweak in their design.
So small tweaks, but in the similar themes.
Exactly. So then it would be able to meet at least the different niches that we have.
That's nice. That's nice. And I also have noticed that you have implemented sustainability into your business as well. Right? And we also discussed it's not just in your materials, even in your packaging you have implemented that.
Yes, correct.
But sustainability is something that doesn't come at a cheaper price, right? There is a price associated with it. So when your clients approach you, some of them are in alignment with that, some of them may not be, right? So have you faced a situation like that, like where the client is not able to meet the price because of the sustainability? And how do you deal with that?
So most clients would want us definitely to, as in the pricing is always like an issue because we have to factor in all these things. But at the end of the day, if a client understands why we're actually implementing sustainability in our business, that's the cream of it all, because we don't want to actually go back and not be ethical in our business practices. So for us, explaining like why we chose sustainability, number one, and why we want to make sure that the company is like 360 sustainable, is we explain about the people who actually make the furniture, the communities, how it is affected, how we make it sustainable for them. So if you tell someone like you buy something from me, it's going to feed, let's say, a community of 100 people back in Indonesia or back in Kenya or back in India, wherever we are sourcing the items from. I think it would be very difficult for you not to agree to that. Then I would be like, okay, you're a little bit hard.
Down to that
so we go back to that. We go down to that explanation to make sure that we're explaining every single thing that we're doing. Also, we touch on like, why are we not using, like we use 100% recycled bottles to make the fabric. We don't want this to end up in the oceans. We don't want this to end up, because it's a life cycle. It ends up in the ocean, it will still come back to us. Aside from animals dying, being sick, we will still get sick.
We will also get
sick. The whole earth will be sick. And then again, we'll be tasked with the job of actually trying to prevent something that has actually happened. Well, we could have prevented it from happening.
Long time ago.
Exactly. I do encourage most of the clients to
go for the
employ for the sustainable practices. If they don't also, it's okay. As in, these are your values. It's okay to say no. Exactly. It's fine. This is what we have to offer, and this is the best we can give. And we want you to have the best. We want you to sit in your compounds enjoying like ergonomic chairs with really nice fabrics that are 100% recycled and feeling nice because you actually did something to protect the environment, protect the animals, and protect yourself. So we want you to have that. But it's okay also, as in if you don't want, exactly.
Right?
So it's fine. There's no harm.
It's okay to say no to people who are not right for your business.
Exactly. It's okay.
That's amazing. And as a first year business owner, there would be a lot of challenges, ups and downs, right? Would you like to share some challenges that, because you're a first time business owner or because it's the first year of business, what are those challenges that you faced?
Yeah, for sure. There's so many challenges. Where to start? So we are a self-funded company. So cash flow would always be an issue. Anyone, as in basically. And I think the biggest challenge would get as first year businesses, not only for me, but for most people, is actually securing funding. The banks won't give you funding because then you're like, oh yeah, you're new. We don't know how well you'll survive. They don't trust you in as much as you have a good credit score personally. But then like, this is a business either way. So they'll treat it separately. That's fine.
Very true. Like the moment you're turned from an employee to a business owner, you don't even get
exactly. Sometimes you feel harassed. You're just like, my God, I'm just trying to make it better. But then, you can't do much. Then also looking for private funding is also an issue. As in, it's a little bit difficult.
Again,
unless
you have some close connections who can give you that funds.
And if you get like someone interested in your company to fund it, then it would be cutthroat. People will ask you for 40% of your company, 50% of your company, 70%, as in depending on how much they want.
Ultimately, you are becoming like an employee in your own company sometimes, right?
So many hurdles, but I think.
Did you go ahead with the funding, or did you
no?
You were still 100% self-funded.
100% still self-funded, and also now the company is slowly self-funding itself, which is good. So it's tough with that kind of capital not being not flowing so much. Then sometimes you trying to do the best for your business, but then people not feeling that it's actually going to work for you, so you have a lot of naysayers also. And what I do is like I filter it out. This is white noise for me.
Objections from your family or your close friends?
Of course, or close friends, family. They'll be like, why would you want to start a business? Just look for a job. It's easier, you know. And I'm like, to be honest, I'm not the one to take the easy route.
Easier
I'm like,
path.
yeah, no. The more you say that it's going to be harder for me, the more I'll work even
More
harder.
inspired you are to try it out.
It's like fuel for me. So I'm like, oh, you say this? I will show you. It's okay.
Yes.
So this also, you have this kind of situations, but then I say you have to be hard-headed.
Yes.
You have to be mentally strong.
Yes.
There are times I've broken down. I'm like, oh, this is so hard. I don't know if I can go on. Maybe I should just look for that job.
Yes.
But then when I open my LinkedIn and I'm like, I know, you started this, you can finish it. I'm not one to quit in between.
Yes.
So always my id is like, no, Audrey, yeah, you can do it.
You can
just
do
continue.
it.
And then
Self-funded, self-motivated.
self-motivated and everything. And my son is my biggest motivation. Every time I look at him, I'm like, yes, I will show you what mama can do so that you can do it even better. So, yeah.
Nice. Now, since you mentioned about your son as well, right? Motherhood itself is an experience in which you need to put a lot of time for our kids, and especially when they are in their younger ages. There's a lot of time that you spend with them.
Yeah.
And your business is also your baby, right? So they are both in those younger ages. So how do you decide which baby to spend time with, and how are you managing?
I actually have, the two babies are the same age.
Yes.
So I take my business and nurture it the same way I'd nurture my son.
Nice.
Like, I want to cement a base where basically he can have a really good foundation and a foot ahead, so that he can grow and know, like, you know what, this is what happens in a business. I saw my mother doing this, and I'm going to either implement it or improve on it.
Nice.
So the same way I put the same reparations for my business as well. I wanted to have a very good base. Like before, in my previous company, I used to do like everything, or marketing, look for leads, cold call and everything. I'm shameless at cold calling. So I take it in.
Thing that business development people do the best.
Exactly.
And I think that would have given you a huge fuel when you started your own.
Yes, it did.
You were good at business development.
I was like, I did business development, so why not do it for myself? And I can do it. I've been doing it. I'm still doing it. No matter how many times people hang up and say, okay, I'm not interested. Or I was like, it's okay. Next time when you're interested, remember me.
Yes, but you still make that call.
I still make that call.
You know, that moment to take up that phone and make that call.
Yes.
Like, for me, that is one of the biggest challenges when I started my business. Because I'm that person who would go for a WhatsApp message than a call, you know. So for me to take that phone and make that dial. So probably like before you got into business development, were you so comfortable on making those calls?
Well, I come from a hospitality background.
Okay,
so this thing was
phone.
just like, you call customer service, okay? You call the front desk, you call the reception, how can I help you?
Nice.
So with that also, it did play a huge role in helping me be confident in actually making those calls. Because most of the time, the person on the other line is like either hollering at you, arguing, spewing insults.
You're used to having
so
those,
I'm like,
those even the
I understand.
frustrated modes, everything.
Exactly. And I'm like, I understand you're angry. How can I help you? That's the easiest thing to de-escalate it, because it's like, I'm pissed off or this. I'm like, yes, I understand. Do you want me to come to you, or do you want to come to the lobby so that we can talk about it? So these skills actually
to stay emotionally calm. Always.
Exactly. Emotional intelligence is like number one, especially in hospitality. You have to, because at the end of the day, it's either you will lose your mind.
Yes, because it's so hard, right? I mean, you can't say, you will have different type of customers in hospitality, and no matter how good you perform, there are some people who will come and shout at you, not because of you, because they're going through something else in their life. And to stay calm is, I think, the best lesson.
It's the best lesson, and to let it go. That's also something I learned after having my son.
Not take it personally.
Don't take it personal. I am the queen of Kaliwali, as my friend would say. I'm like, Kaliwali, it's fine. It's okay. Nice. It's not working out. then it's okay. I
We
will
move
let
on.
it go. We
Yes.
move on. Go with the flow. Yeah.
Very, I think that's one of the best takeaways from today's, Queen of Kali Wali.
Yes. That's it. That's
Nice,
it.
nice.
Take it easy.
Yes.
Otherwise, you end up spending that small amount of time being
Yes.
pissed off and the energy instead of actually thinking about what could happen actually in the morning.
Yes.
I saw my son smiling. I saw my son laughing. All this gets taken away because of this small thing that pissed you off, and you ended up now overexerting your energy
my
on it
God,
and everything. Yeah. So now I'm just like, if it's not making me happy, it's okay. It's not for me. I will move on.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.